So here's a quick story of how I went from driving a beat-up 1997 Honda Accord to now driving a 2022 Ferrari Portofino. And how I went from a real estate millionaire to getting into meme coin and lost over $50,000 in pump and dump and rug pull. And how I'm able to discover this awesome community that we're building together, and we took a dead coin from 20,000 market cap to over $2.6 million market cap within a couple days. The reason I share this story is I also wanted to inspire and motivate you, but also to is give you the self-confidence and the self-belief that you too can do this, that you too can make your dreams become a reality, that you can go from rag to riches. And anything is possible if you put your mind to it. So my name is Kong, also known as King Kong. I was born and raised in Vietnam. I grew up in a mud hut. I used to catch frogs for dinner. And I know some of you asked me, so Kong, how does frogs taste like chicken? Better, all right? I was fortunate enough to come to America with my family at the age of 9. I dropped out of high school when I was 17. The reason why, because I knew that school wasn't for me. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, which that's what my parents wanted me to be. But I dropped out at 17. I met my wife at the age of 18. And we moved into this little shed behind a mobile home park. And I lived there from 18 all the way until I was 23. My first job, I was making $8.50 an hour. After working there for 8 years, I realized that it's not how hard you work, but it's what you do for work that will make you rich. Some people work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, make $30,000 a year. While some people do one real estate deal and make $30,000 in a month. When I was living in that shed behind a mobile home park, all my friends and family were looking down at me while they're out shopping, partying. I was working, hustling, I was grinding. All I did was eat, work, and sleep and stacking that cash. So long story short, I bought my first house at the age of 23. I quit my job at the age of 26. And by the time I was 27, I got into real estate. I started out as a fix and flipper. And I got to the point where I had $1.4 million tied up, almost went bankrupt. That's when I discovered wholesaling. Wholesaling is very simple. Basically, you find a distressed property with the motivated seller, you negotiate a deal with them, you put the property in a contract, and then you sell the contract over to another investor who actually wants to buy, fix, and flip the property, or maybe they want to buy it, fix it, and then keep it as a long-term rental. You just sell your rights over to them, sell that contract, and make a quick 10, 20, 30, 40. My biggest wholesale deal was $212,000 on one single-family home. And all that happens under 30 days. Became a millionaire at the age of 32. I'm 41 now. So I spent the last 9 years waking up whenever I want, do whatever I want, wherever I want, and most importantly, is with whoever the F that I want. I bought my dream car, which is the Ferrari Portofino 2022, didn't need to test drive it. I went into the dealership. I said, that's what I want. And Lon, which is my wife, she bought her mom a brand new house, $650,000, move her in it, pay all her bills, and retire her. So the beauty thing about having money is that you can do things for your loved ones. You can do things that most other people cannot do or cannot afford to do. But the best part about being a millionaire, in my opinion, is being able to go into a restaurant and eat whatever the F you want and not having to worry about checking the price on the menu. I remember trying to order a spring roll and it was only $1.50, and she said that's not within our budget. But trust me, one day, Kong, you can have all the spring roll that you want. And I said, come on, man, shit. What kind of life if I can't even have a spring roll with my pho? So anytime now when I go have my pho, I always order a spring roll. It reminds me of how far I have came from. There's a lot of things that I missed out in the stories that I want to make sure that I included all in here for you. So I remember, when I first got into real estate, I was very shy, very insecure. I was not the person I am today. I was not outgoing at all. I don't like talking to strangers. But then my mentor told me, so Kong, he's like, Kong, are you more worried about, rejection or your insecurity, or are you scared of not becoming financially free, making the money you want to make, and living the life that you want to live one day? And I said, obviously, I'm more scared of not having, that freedom. And he said, well, Kong, you cannot get rich, all right, by continue to do what you're doing, because you're not going to get the results, all right? If you continue to do what you have done, you always get the results that you've gotten. So he said, Kong, the only way that you're going to make it, dude, is you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of your insecurity. You got to get out of the box, and you got to start talking to people. So that's exactly what I started to do. And I remember also too, I was driving around a beat up Honda, a 1997 Honda Accord, and I would have the magnet that said, "We buy houses cash." And you know, in my culture, it's a show off. It's not a good flex, right? Basically telling people that you got money and you can buy houses for cash, yada yada yada. So it was a very negative things that you know the Asian culture see. And I remember driving home one day with it, and my mom and dad would be like, "Well, Kong, you know, you should take it off." And I remember some of Lon's family, brother and sister, said to take it off. And at the point where I did consider taking it off. And my mentor said this. My mentor said, "Kong," because I talked to him about it. And he said, "Well, Kong, how can people do business with you if they don't know what you do?" And he said, "Kong, once again, are you more worried about what people say, or are you more worried about not making the money?" And I said, "Obviously, making the money." Then he said, "Get rid of the noise. Focus on what matters." And what matters, Kong, is getting that money. And you need to let everybody know what you do. This is not about you flexing, okay? This is all about you and your future self and for your future family. It's not about them. It's about you. And you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. And he said, "Get rid of the noise." And that's exactly what I did. I drove around town with magnets on the car. It was cheap. So I at that time, I did everything that was cheap. So being resourceful is extremely important. And that's what I did. And I got a lot of call from it. And I end up starting to close deal from it, which is insane. And people that calls you from a beat up Honda and believe that you have the cash to buy it, dude, they're pretty motivated, okay? And that obviously continued, and then we went from, I went from magnet signs to bandit sign to doing direct mail. And I think we got to the point where I've built up enough capital where we're spending, $30, $40, $50,000 a month on direct mail, which is we're sending them letters, we're sending them postcard, and we're hitting them left and right. And at that time, postcard and letters were doing really, really well. Like it actually worked in my market. And obviously over time, everybody were doing it. And there was a time where the marketing called yellow letters, right? You were sending these yellow letter and it looks like it's handwritten, but it's not. Anyways, and those worked really well. And then over time, we merged from direct mail into cold calling and text messaging. Okay, at that time, there was a time where we also did RVM, which is ringless voicemail. We drop them, it goes straight to their voicemail, and we'll just drop them a message saying, "Hey, my name is this. I'm interested in making you a cash offer, yada, yada, yada." And that works for a while, and things changes. And I believe, so with being in business for so long, I just know that things changes all the time. You got to learn how to adjust, and you got to learn how to adapt to new things, and you must do it very quick. If you don't, then you're going to be left behind and you're going to get wiped out. So to all the stories to now, I have a team of 7 VAs. They run my whole entire wholesaling operations. We do it completely virtual. We don't meet the seller. I don't see the property. I don't meet up with the buyer anymore. And we've been doing it virtually, I would say, for the past 6+ years. And this is what allows me to be able to travel the world with the wifey. We can go to Vietnam and stay there for like a month and a half, 2 months, it doesn't matter, right? And our business is still working, it's still running, and it's still operating. And it's a dream business that I always wanted to have when I got into real estate. Seeing people were able to travel and still make money at the same time. And I wish that one day that I have a business model that works exactly like that. And for those of you who's looking for the exact same business model, that it allows you to travel, it allows you to work whenever you want, it allows you to work wherever you want, with whoever the F that you want, and it gives you the freedom, like I said, to travel and be able to work remotely from home or away from home, and being able to control your own destination and your own income, and and most importantly, is your time. If that's something you're interested in, always wanted to have or built, virtual wholesaling is the one for you. And I think that this thing will continue to work. Wholesaling has always worked, and it works years and years ago. And I think it will start to work even towards the future. It's just that we need to make adjustment as we go. There are some states that require you to have a license to actually wholesale. But you can get away with that, and you do what's called a double closing. And obviously, I can explain to you more on a different video what a double closing is. But there's always ways around whatever the law is, right? You just need to be able to adjust and adapt to new things and always be evolving and be learning. So in my opinion, if you're not growing, you're dying, because this world changes fast and you must stay on top of your game. Listen, if you don't learn how to play the game, you will be played by the game. Now, for those of you who's interested in getting into wholesaling and learn more about it, I did a 3-day challenge where I took you through day one, how to find a motivated seller. Day 2, I'll show you how to talk and negotiate so you can put that prop in the contract. And then day 3, I'll show you how to find the investor, the cash buyer, and sell the deal to them and make your money. If you're interested in that, I'll put the link in my descriptions. It's completely free. I look forward to seeing you on the 3-day challenge and hoping to show you how to close your first deal in the next 30 to 60 days. And for those of you who already done a deal, I hope to show you how to do it my way and close your next wholesale deal. Until next time, take care and let's go get this money.